Hey everybody, welcome to My Ninja Turtles channel. How are you? I'm skating into the studio right now to do the show. Ninja Turtles love skateboarding. My Ninja Turtles channel, we love skateboarding too. Going skating with our friends Mondo, Gecko, and Michelangelo, because today we're talking about pro skater Paul Rodriguez, P-Rod. I'm skating in my Krang on my cheap skate, going in to do the show. Should be a good show, talking about P-Rod, talking about last Ronin figures. Behind the scenes, really cool interview with some people from NECA, behind the scenes. And also talking about TMNT issue 136. Armageddon game is getting good. We're going to talk about it. So get excited everybody, press the like button, type a T for Turtles if you like the Ninja Turtles, and get ready Mutation Nation, it's going to be a great show. Get excited, go Ninja, go Ninja, go! Go! Welcome to My Ninja Turtles channel. It's 7 p.m. in the Big Apple, and this is the Ninja Turtles Show.
Cowabunga!
Your favorite weekly live stream every Turtle Tuesday, covering Ninja Turtles news, toys, cartoons, comics, movies, video games, and more.
Pizza heaven!
Whatever the show we want. And today's show is no different. Like I said, today we're talking about the last Ronin figures from NECA. Awesome figures. Armored and unarmored. We're going to be talking about P-Rod, Paul Rodriguez, professional skater. He's a legend. So I hope everyone is doing well out there in Mutation Nation. Should be a pretty good show. I'm excited. Got a lot of cool news to talk about, a lot of cool stuff to talk about. So thank you for joining me. Press the like button, subscribe to My Ninja Turtles channel if you don't already. And get excited. First of all, Rise fans are celebrating because the Rise of the TMNT movie was nominated for an Annie Award for Best Character Design. Pretty nice news for the Rise of the TMNT fans. So it's pretty exciting stuff. Make sure to subscribe here on YouTube. Leave a like. Subscribe on rumble.com/MyNinjaTurtles channel. And also follow on Twitter at MyTMNT channel. Should be a pretty good show. A lot of cool stuff to talk about. Happy Turtle Tuesday, of course. Hope everyone is doing well. Excited to talk to you here on the Ninja Turtles Show. Can't believe it's been another week already. And it's been a good week for Ninja Turtles news. It's been a good week for me. I hope you've had a good week as well. Do a live stream every Tuesday and Saturday here on My Ninja Turtles channel. So make sure to tune in every Tuesday and Saturday. And I've been releasing a scripted, edited video every Thursday, so make sure to tune in this Thursday. I'm releasing a short video, a YouTube short, Are the Ninja Turtles Black? So a new short video this Thursday. Live streams every Tuesday and Saturday, so thank you for joining me. Leave a chat, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Happy you're here, happy Turtle Tuesday. Good news. Good news this week from Turtle Tracks. Do you listen to Turtle Tracks? It's a cool Ninja Turtles podcast hosted by Brian Van Hooker. We've talked about Brian Van Hooker before. We've talked about Turtle Tracks before. It's a great Ninja Turtles interview podcast. It's an interview-based show. And Brian Van Hooker is also the author of the article that came out on Inverse last year, The Oral History of The Last Ronin, the biggest TMNT comic since 1984. He interviewed all the creators of The Last Ronin comic, Kevin Eastman, Ben Bishop, and he talked to all of them. And he even interviewed Andy Kuhn. He interviewed all these people that were behind the Last Ronin comic about how the comic book came together. And one of the things that he didn't get to include in the article is that he also interviewed the people behind the NECA Last Ronin toys. So he did an interview about the Last Ronin toys that didn't really make it into the article. So he recently released the interview. Brian Van Hooker released the interview on the podcast, talking with NECA TMNT brand manager Trevor Zammit and the sculptor Paul Harding, the sculptor behind the Last Ronin figures. And you all, of course, know the Last Ronin figures by NECA. They're awesome. These were probably the coolest figures of 2022, if you ask me. The Last Ronin is an awesome comic book, and these figures were awesome. NECA does great stuff, the armored version as well as the unarmored version. So it was great to hear the people behind the toys and how they created them, and the decisions that they put in to create the figure and bring it to life in 3D. was neat to hear them talk about their experience they've had before creating these figures. They create the figures, they have to bring something to life that's 3D or it's from something that's not actually real, and they have to kind of materialize it and make it exist in the real world. So it's neat to hear the sculptor, how it comes about. The timeline was also very interesting to hear. They started working on these figures back in 2020. Even though they came out in 2022, they started working on these figures back in 2020, and I think only the first issue was out. They may have had notes for the second issue, or they may have had the second issue may have come out while they were working on it, but they started when the first issue alone was out. So it was really cool to hear the sculptor talk about the decisions that he made, little details on The Last Ronin. Not every single square inch of The Last Ronin was shown in the comics, so at a certain point they kind of have to, they have a little bit of freedom to choose how The Last Ronin figure is going to look. They have to choose a look and decide on it and stick with it. So they kind of mentioned if something shows up in one panel, like if a design shows up on a knee pad or a shoulder pad in one panel, then it's fair game to use on the figure. And it was so cool to hear them talk about the textures, like the wrinkly skin of The Last Ronin and the leather and the different fabrics, and the, the shell has one kind of texture, and the pads have one kind of texture, the weapons have another texture. And they talk about when you're sculpting the line, sometimes light and shadow can get in there and make it seem even more dramatic than it really is. And it's really interesting to hear the process behind that. A sculptor's mind is not something I can get my mind around. I don't know, I have no talent for that kind of thing. I can't draw, I can't do any kind of art project. But these figures look great, and in the interview they also talked about how these are actually the first modern Ninja Turtles figures that the NECA team has brought to market. Everything else has been vintage cartoons, vintage toys, vintage movies, the original cartoon, the original 1990 movies. But this is the first IDW toy that they put out. This is the first modern Ninja Turtles toy from NECA. And they look really great. The Last Ronin figures are really cool, and they also talked in the interview about how the toys are like the #1 part of the Ninja Turtles franchise. It's not the TV shows or the movies or the comics. The toys are probably the #1 feature of the Ninja Turtles franchise. People like the toys the most. They get the most attention online, and they're the most collectible kind of stuff, and they have the most devotion for it. I know a lot of people like the 1990 movie. Of course, it's awesome. And some people think the original cartoon doesn't hold up, but otherwise, the fan base likes it certain parts. There's the Rise fans, there's the 2003 fans, all the different groups, and it just shows that the toys are cool. Kids used to play with them, and they'd use their imagination and creativity, and they have the good memories of Ninja Turtles playing with the toys back when they were young or whatever. So Last Ronin figure, really cool stuff. It was great to hear behind the scenes info about how this awesome figure, these two awesome figures came about. 2 figures, 4 heads from NECA, Last Ronin figure, awesome stuff. From Turtle Tracks podcast, Brian Van Hooker. Really great stuff. So hope you guys like those figures. Go check out that interview from Turtle Tracks. Great podcast. It's available on like SoundCloud and I think it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere podcasts are available, of course. You guys like those figures? How's it going in the chat? We've got TMNT, F47, Raffi, Mr. Turtle, Toidle. How's it going, everybody? Alberton Studios. Hello, hello. Welcome. Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Turtle Tuesday. Hope you like those toys from NECA. Awesome toys. Speaking of toys from NECA, they released a little bit of info. There's these posters, of course, this graphic that they have with all the toys from the movies. And in the Secret of the Ooze sequel, the 1991 live-action movie, they have Kino, of course. We've spoken about Kino before. It's going to be a new figure that NECA's releasing. He was the pizza delivery guy, Ernie Reyes Jr. And I saw they posted some heads, some close-up shots of the Kino face, and he looks really good. He looks like Kino. Looks a little bit scary with the pupilless eyes, with just the plain eyes, but looks really good. He's smiling. He's got that nice pizza delivery guy hair, nice wave in the front. Ernie Reyes Jr., Kino. So it was nice to see little snippets of the figure up close before it gets released. Also wanted to mention the Nendoroid Turtles. I think we've spoken about these before. Nendoroids, cool little cute collectible Ninja Turtles. I think they announced these a while back, and the Leo and Raph are up for pre-order right now. So I guess these are pictures, updated pictures of the Leo and Raph. Really cool Nendoroid figures. I'm not too familiar with these, but they look great. And also wanted to mention, I saw this posted on Twitter that a lot of these classic figures are going to be coming back to store. I saw some of these are already in store. The giant figures are back in stores already. There's going to be pizza tossing turtles as well. Some of these are going to be exclusive to Walmart, but they're going to be re-releasing the storage shell turtles and some villains, Splinter, Leatherhead. A lot of cool re-releases. So I thought that was interesting stuff. I was happy about this. I saw this. I was pretty excited. I don't know. I thought about getting a giant turtle. Pretty cool stuff. I was looking at it. I thought about getting a giant turtle, and then I was looking a little further, and I saw someone online posted that the giant turtles, the new ones, are a little bit smaller than the original release. So I think the original release is like maybe 13 or 14 inches tall, and the new one's like 12 inches or something like that. It looks like it's a couple inches smaller and a couple minor details. I guess all the new ones have the same facial sculpt. They don't have different facial sculpts like the old giant turtles did, but cool nonetheless. So I thought that was just a neat little tidbit. That's all the little toy news for now. A lot of Ninja Turtle toy news. Next thing I wanted to mention, skateboarding and the Ninja Turtles go hand in hand. Ninja Turtles love skateboarding. Here at My Ninja Turtles channel, we love skateboarding. It looks like pro skater Paul Rodriguez loves skateboarding and the Ninja Turtles as well. Paul Rodriguez is a pro skateboarder. He's been a professional skateboarder for a long time. I think he's been releasing video parts since the 90s. Very talented, legendary pro skater. Great style. And of course, the Ninja Turtles skateboard in the 1987 show, the 90s movies, 2003 show, Rise, 2012. Ninja Turtles are always skateboarding. Even in the 2014 movie, 2016 movie. Paul Rodriguez, pro skater for a long time. And he recently released a video talking about a nunchuck story. And we're really not going to focus on the nunchuck story. He talks about the nunchuck story. But he talks about Michelangelo. He talks about the Turtles in his video. And I think it's always kind of cool to see a fellow Ninja Turtles fan out there. I love when random people declare their love for the Turtles. I love when a random person, you know, some sort of person in the public eye, shares their love of the Ninja Turtles. So I wanted to play a couple quick clips from his video about his nunchuck story when he mentions the Ninja Turtles. Here's the first clip.
I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I see this costume of Michelangelo. Michelangelo costume comes with like a shell, you know, comes with this like cool like orange band with the green nose, pair of nunchucks.
So I thought that was really neat to hear. Professional skateboarder Paul Rodriguez. He's the real deal. He's been a pro skateboarder. He's legendary, very influential, long career too. Tough to pull off in skateboarding. So it's cool to know he's a Ninja Turtles fan. And he speaks a little bit more about it. His Michelangelo costume that he had when he was a kid. It's a goofy little story about when he was a kid and he liked Ninja Turtles and played with nunchucks, but had another little clip where he talks about the Ninja Turtles. Here it is.
I put on the outfit. I'm messing with the nunchucks. You know, the Foot Clan are the bad guys of the Ninja Turtles, you know? So like, in my mind, all of a sudden, I'm Michelangelo and I'm envisioning the Foot Clan.
So it's just funny to hear him talking about his love of the Ninja Turtles when he was a kid. And he describes that mask with the bandana and the green nose attached to it. And I've seen this before on eBay. I guess there was a mask that had a nose attached to it. And he was talking about that in his Michelangelo nunchuck story. I guess he was playing pretend. Playing with the nunchucks, playing pretend, and he got into some trouble with the nunchucks. And I looked for the mask, and this is pretty much the closest thing I could find. It combines the bandana into the with the nose, and you have the bandana nose combo for Ninja Turtles mask. I thought this is a funny little old vintage thing. And I noticed that Paul Rodriguez is actually born in 1984, just like the Turtles. So he's the same age as the Turtles. He was born in 1984. So I guess he was like the perfect age in the early 90s to be a kid that was swept up in Turtle Mania in the early 90s. So he was like the perfect age, Paul Rodriguez. Probably wore a mask similar to this, pro skater, talented guy, and good choice in Ninja Turtles costumes. So I would like to announce and welcome Paul Rodriguez. He's an official Ninja Turtles fan. he's welcome here anytime. So that was just a funny little story I saw. Not a lot of Ninja Turtles news this week, but I saw that. It's always cool when someone in the public eye mentions the Ninja Turtles. So that was the Paul Rodriguez story. Pro skater Paul Rodriguez, P-Rod, just posted that YouTube video yesterday. Pretty cool. It's only a matter of time before Tony Hawk gets involved with the Ninja Turtles. I mean, he has Hawk right in the name. Seems like it would make sense, right? Tony Hawk, Ninja Turtles. They did the Carmelo Anthony comic book crossover. Maybe we could get a Tony Hawk. I wonder what he would mutate into. I don't know. But that'd be a cool comic book. And speaking of cool comic books, has anybody been reading The Armageddon Game? Armageddon Game's been going on for a few months now, apparently since July 2022. We're months into it now. A lot of comic books. I think 10 or 15, 20 comic books have come out. And a couple are coming out tomorrow. TMNT number 136, and also the Armageddon Game number 4. The Armageddon Game is moving right along. And tomorrow, TMNT 136 is coming out. Has a really cool cover with Casey Jones and Jenica. And they posted some like behind the scenes kind of stuff online about this cover, and I thought it was really interesting. That the cover, a little behind the scenes, they shared the initial like thumbnail sketch, just like a rough draft of what the cover would look like. They shared the initial rough draft, and you can see the initial design is already there, just in the rough sketch version of it. It's a little bit messy, it's tough to see, but it's pretty much all there. Jenica, Casey, you can see all the chaos and stuff, and it's really cool. And they shared their initial like black and white outline drawing. So they went all the way from their thumbnail sketch and then the initial foundation of the drawing. I don't know if they do this digitally. I don't know how this works, if it's all in like Photoshop or something. It's pretty cool. It's a really neat cover. And the Armageddon Game has been progressing. I still feel like they're building up to something, and it just kind of getting tired of waiting for it to go somewhere. I don't know. I'm a little frustrated. It looks good. It's a cool story, but it just doesn't feel really special to me. I think they're kind of stretching it out. I know they added another Alliance issue. There's going to be 6 Alliance issues now. So from the black and white line drawing to a more detailed shaded drawing, looks really good. I don't know. It looks like pencils, but I'm sure they do it all digitally. It's really cool seeing the shadows and the lighting and stuff come into play from just the outline to the more detailed version. So the artist process is really interesting. I love the behind the scenes stuff. I love the behind the scenes for the last Ronin figures. I love the behind the scenes stuff for these covers. And then they take the cover with the black and white shading and they add color to it. And it's really interesting. The difference with the color really makes it look great. From the black and white shading to the color cover. Really cool stuff. Really interesting stuff too. It's amazing how they do this stuff. I don't know how they do it. I wouldn't even know where to start, honestly. And there's some detail I noticed in the cover. Now that it's colored in, a lot of details stand out a little bit more. Really cool. You can see there's some blood splatter in this initial raw version of the art, and pretty brutal cover, honestly. It's pretty crazy for a cover. But it looks really good, blood splatter, but in the official final version of the cover, they took out the blood splatter, and you can see they lightened it up a little bit too. I'm not sure if that was like a violence thing. It is a little gory. It's a little bit over the top, but it made it look a little busy too. It looks a little bit cleaner now. There's already a lot going on. You don't need blood splatter. It just kind of looks like a mess on the page or something. But looks really good. And they also made the background kind of blurry, I noticed. The background's a little bit blurred. Looks really cool. So, little behind the scenes on just the cover, TMNT 136, and they released the preview, of course. And I just wanted to show you the first panel. Starts off with a lot of action. They're not holding anything back. They're starting off with a lot of action. Who knows what's going to happen after this, but TMNT 136 in stores tomorrow. New Comic Book Day Wednesday, and Armageddon Game number 4 is going to be in stores tomorrow as well. So check it out online or your local comic book shop. A lot of cool stuff coming out in the Ninja Turtles comics. I heard a rumor that the Lost Years is delayed, but the Lost Years number 1 is delayed, but who knows? I'm excited for 136 and Armageddon Game tomorrow. And like I said, I'm excited for the Rise of the TMNT movie, winning a nomination. I'm might have said winning an award. They were nominated for an award. Best character design for a feature. Really cool stuff. So Rise fans are celebrating. I'm celebrating. Turtle Tuesday forecast. Looks like there's going to be a big Ninja Turtles high pressure system, high pizza system moving in on the Turtle Tuesday forecast. 100% chance of Ninja Turtles. So thanks again for joining me here on the Ninja Turtle Show on my Ninja Turtles channel. Hope you had a great time. Happy Turtle Tuesday. Thanks again. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to my Ninja Turtles channel. Do a live stream every Tuesday and every Saturday, and a new scripted edited video coming out this Thursday. Make sure you join me this Thursday, and I'll see you again next Saturday. So just wanted to say thanks again. T for Turtles and T for thanks, of course. I guess there's only one thing left to say, right? Cowabunga! Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment and share this video. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more Ninja Turtles videos like this.